Hello students. So now I am going to explaining the terms related to the spherical refracting surface. So earlier on class means before that I was explained the what do you know about the spherical refracting surface means what. So there are two spherical refracting surface, one we are going to call the concave and another one we are going to call the convex. So which is the surface concave towards the rarer medium that we are going to call the concave spherical refracting surface. So which is convex towards the rarer medium that we are going to call the convex spherical refracting surface. So both the diagram I have drawn here. Some important terms are there. So which are that means in figure we can see that P means what? P it is called the pole. Okay, P it is called what? A pole. Here it is also P is there. C is called the center of curvature. Okay, see here also we can see that center of curvature. And then R it is the what? Radius of curvature. This is the radius of curvature. Okay, so and N1 and N2 are called the refractive index. So these terms only we are going to understanding now. First we can understand the what do you know about the pole. Pole means what? So pole means the midpoint of the spherical refracting surface is called its a pole. So this is the one spherical means this one. So the center of this one, okay, the midpoint of the what this spherical refracting surface. This is the midpoint of the spherical refracting surface. So that is we are going to call the pole. So that we are going to call the what pole or center of the spherical refracting surface. So that we are going to call the what pole. Okay. So pole means here either you can take the concave or convex. The same. It will be the what midpoint of the spherical refracting surface. Now we are going to see the center of curvature. This is the what we are going to call the C. C is called the what center of curvature. Center of curvature means so this is actually this spherical refracting surface. It's a part of the water sphere only. So that part of the sphere is called the spherical surface. Okay, so that is the part of the sphere. So that forms the water spherical refracting surface. So here we can see that the center of the sphere of which the curved refracting surface forms a part is called center of curvature. The center of the sphere of which the curved refracting surface forms a what a part that we are going to call it's a center of curvature. Now next we can understanding the radius of curvature means what. The simple way we can define it is the distance between the what center of curvature and the pole. This way also you can write it. So it is the distance between the water pole and center of curvature that we are going to call the radius of curvature. Or else another one definition we can say that it is the radius of the sphere of which the curved refracting surface forms a part. Curved refracting surface forms a part. Means so from the center. So if you have taken this one, this is the what center of the sphere only. The center of the sphere, so that is nothing but the water. So radius is also the same thing. The radius it is the water, radius of the sphere only. So the radius of the sphere of which the curved refracting surface forms a part. Already I have explained that. So this one spherical surface is nothing but the what? It's a part of the sphere. It's a part of the water sphere. So that's why we are going to see that the curved refracting surface forms a part. We are going to see that. Now next principal axis means what? What do you know about the principal axis? So this P, the line which is passes from what center of curvature and pole. Okay, so that is PC we are going to see no. So the center of curvature and pole. So that we are going to call the principal axis. So here we can see that a line joining the pole and the center of curvature. A line which is joining the what? A pole and the center of curvature. Pole means what? The midpoint of the spherical refracting surface. Center means already we know the center of the sphere of which the curved refracting surface forms a part. So it is called what? A center of curvature. We are going to see that. So then, so this is the what? A line joining the pole and the center of curvature of the spherical refracting surface. That is we are going to call what a principal axis. That is we are going to call the what as principal axis. Now aperture means AB. There also I have written that. So AB. So if you spherical refracting surface, it is like this way. So this is the one effective diameter. So effective diameter. So wherever this you can see that effective diameter, on that only the refraction takes place. That is the curved refracting surface. So that we are going to see that it is the effective diameter of the refracting spherical surface exposed to the incident light. So whatever the incident light, it will be fall on to the curved surface, that diameter only it will be falling. So that we are going to call the aperture. ಅದಕ್ಕೇನು ಕರಿಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಅಪರ್ಚರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ 1-2 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅಂದರೆ ನಾ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ನಿಂದ ಸರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನೀವು ಪೂರಾ ಇದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು 1-2 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Okay, so now we are going to understanding the new Cartesian sign convention for the spherical refracting surface, that we can understand now. Okay, so now we are going to understanding the new Cartesian sign convention. Okay, so new Cartesian sign convention. New Cartesian sign convention. So this is also very important for the 2 marks. Okay, so this it may be going to ask in the what annual examination for the 2 marks also. So now see, first we are going to see that all the distances are measured from the water. So measured from the pole of the spherical refracting surface. Okay, so all the distances are measured from the water pole of the spherical refracting surface, means from here, pole of the spherical refracting surface here. From here onwards we are going to measuring. Okay, so whatever it may be, object distance or image distance, whatever the distance we are measuring now, it is measured from the water pole of the refracting surface. Okay, pole of the refracting surface, it is measured. Now first point we are going to see that all distances are measured from the pole of the spherical refracting surface. This is the first point. All distances are measured from the pole of the spherical refracting surfaces. Means from the pole only we are going to measuring all the distances. Distance means what? Object distance, image distance. These are the distances are there. So that will be measured from the where? Means from the pole of the spherical refracting surface we are going to measure. Now second point we are going to see that the distance measured in the direction of propagation of light is taken as positive. This is the water. So the distance which is measured from the water propagation of incident light. Okay, so that will be taken as a water positive. The distances measured in the direction of, second point I am going to write down, the distances measured in the direction of okay, so measured in the direction of the propagation of light is taken as positive. What? Positive. It is taken as a what? Positive. So the distance incident light, this one, it is taken as a what? Negative. Okay, the distances which are what we can see that measured in the direction of propagation of light of incident, that we are going to call taken as a positive, which is opposite to this one, that is taken as a what, a negative. So that is the third point we understood there. So next, fourth point, it is saying that the distances measured in transverse direction above the principal axis are taken as positive. This one, the height of the object we have written here. So that is taken as a what, a positive, and this will be taken as a negative. Inverse transverse means perpendicular to this principal axis, that is taken as a positive. So perpendicular to the what, principal axis, it is inversely means downward we have taken, no, so that is taken as a negative. Okay, so this is the what, fourth and fifth point we understood that. Fourth and fifth point. Okay, so fourth and the one, what convex spherical refracting surface. So convex spherical refracting surface means the bulge portion is towards the rarer medium or towards the observer. Okay, so that is convex towards the what, rarer medium. So N1 and N2 are the refractive index of rarer medium N1, and N2 is called the refractive index of the denser medium. Now see, here one object is placed on the principal axis. According to the sign convention, we are going to say that all the distances are measured from the what, pole of that spherical surface. Okay, so that's why here object is placed on the principal axis. So when the object, one ray, it passes to the principal axis, it is undeviated. This ray, it does not deviate, it will be move as it is. Okay, so that will be moving what, as it is. That will be moved as it is. So now another one ray we are taking, that is O2N. So this is the incident ray. So when a ray travels from rarer medium to the denser medium, so this is rarer medium, this will be what we are going to see, that denser medium. So when it is traveling from rarer to denser medium, the ray, it will be bent towards the normal. So NC is the what, normal. NC is called what, normal. Okay, this is the NC, it is the what, normal to the. So this is the ON is the incident ray, and this Ni is the what, refracted ray. So when a ray travels from rarer to denser medium, it is bent towards the normal. So this is the NC is the what, normal ray. NC is called what, normal to the line. We are going to see that. So O2P, it is the one object distance we are taking, and this P2I, that is the what, image distance we are taking, and P2C, it is called what, radius of curvature. So these things only we are going to write down in this one. So in the figure, what are the things it is given, that we can write it here. Okay, see here in the figure. Okay, so this is the N1 and N2 are refractive index of medium 1 and medium 2 respectively. Medium 1 and medium 2 respectively. Medium 1 and medium 2 respectively. Okay, N1 and N2 are the refractive index of medium 1 and medium 2 respectively, we can take it. Now O is called what, object. O, it is the what, object. I, it is the what, image. O, it is the object. I is the what, image. Okay, so now one by one we can write down. C is the center of curvature of that spherical surface. Center of curvature. C, it is called what, center of curvature. Okay, C is the center of curvature. R is the radius of curvature. R, it is called what, radius of curvature. All the definitions already have explained to you. So what is center of curvature means what, radius of curvature means what, already have given to you. So this one, C is the R, it is over. So now P is the pole of that spherical refracting surface. That is the pole of the spherical refracting surface. Spherical refracting surface. So U is called object distance. U, it is called what? Object distance. U, it is called what? Object distance. I is the what? We can see that image distance. I, it is called the image distance. Sorry, V. It is not I. It is the V. V is the what? Image distance. V is called what? Image distance. Now here we have constructed the one N to M. So that is the construction. It is perpendicular to the principal axis because it is near to the pole. So that is distance is not much more than. So we are going to considering because here we are taking the word triangles. So triangle in that the alpha, beta and gamma are called the small angles. Okay, so small angles. So whenever this aperture is there, no, whatever the angle it is formed, so these angles are very small. So because of that, so alpha, beta are called the small angles. Alpha, beta and gamma are small angles. Okay, small angles. So now we are going to calculating the alpha, beta and gamma. So from figure, so in triangle we can see that from triangle, one triangle we are considering. That triangle is first triangle we are going to take the NOM. From triangle NOM. From triangle what we are taking, no, NOM. So that is a tan alpha equal to opposite by adjacent. Opposite divided by adjacent. So what is that opposite? So opposite here NM divided by OM. NM by OM. So that we are taking it. Similarly, another one triangle also taken. So that is NCM. Okay. So triangle NCM. So NCM we are taking, that is tan beta equal to, again opposite is what is that opposite? So NM okay. So this is NM divided by, again this one what we are going to see that adjacent is MC. NM by MC. Okay. So similarly another one triangle we are taking, that is a triangle NIM. Triangle NIM. So there also we can see that tan gamma equal to. So this is what we can see, opposite is NM and adjacent we are going to see that MI. Adjacent is the MI. So these are the small angles we already informed to you. So small angles that will be nearly equal to, okay, so this is alpha is equal to NM by OM, and this one we can write down the what, beta equal to NM by MC, and gamma equal to, we can write down the what, NM by MI. Now we want to calculate the what, angle I and angle R. To calculate that, again we are going to see that some triangles, these triangles we will go to draw. We will go to now determination of I. So we are going to determining the what, I. Determination of I. Angle I. To calculate this one, so we are considering a one triangle. Okay, so this triangle what we are going to considering means here we are going to considering the one triangle. So that is triangle we are going to take NOC. This is the one triangle NOC. Okay, so from triangle NOC. Okay, NOC we are taking it. NOC triangle, in that this is the what I is the angle, I is the exterior angle I is the what exterior angle. So that exterior angle is equal to sum of the two interior angle of a triangle. So that is so this is I equal to sum of interior angle means alpha plus beta. Alpha plus beta. Already we knowing that alpha, beta and gamma we have calculated. So we will going to substitute here. So that is angle I equal to alpha value. What is that? Alpha we are going to see that Mn by OM. Mn by OM. So that is Nm by OM plus beta. Beta is Nm by MC. Nm by MC we are taken. This is what we are going to get now alpha angle I. So now similarly we are also determining the determination of R. Determination of R, angle R. For that again we are choosing the one triangle. So that triangle is from triangle. So this we are taking it NCI. NCI. So that is a triangle NIC or NCI. So here beta is the exterior angle, R and gamma are the what interior angles. So that is a beta is the exterior angle of any triangle. Beta equal to R plus gamma. Okay, R plus gamma. So we want to calculate the R value. Therefore R vector equal to, it will come this side, that is beta cap minus angle gamma. So already we calculated the value of beta means so Nm by MC. Nm by MC. This is Nm divided by MC minus. Okay, Nm by MC. This is Nm by MC. And then gamma. Gamma we are taking no. So that gamma is the what Nm by Mi. Nm by Mi. This is equation 1. This is equation 2 we are calling it. So now according to the Snell's law we are using the what Snell's law. From Snell's law equation, from Snell's law equation. Snell's law equation. So that is Snell's law equation is N1 into I, that is N1 sin I equal to N2 sin R. N2 sin R. So here for small angles already we informed you that for small angles we can write down sin I is nearly equal to I only, N1 I plus N2 R. Okay, N1I plus N2R. Now we will substitute the values of this one. So what are the values are there? We will going to see here. I means Mn by OM plus Nm by MC. R means Nm by MC minus Nm by Mi. So here we will substitute the values Ni bracket. This is Mn by OM. Okay, Nm by OM plus Nm by MC equal to N2 bracket. So this one Nm by MC minus Nm by Mi. Okay, so here Nm is common. Nm it is common. Nm it is a common. Nm ಏನದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ common ಅದ. So we will remove the Nm and we will take inside the refractive index. So Nm get cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ Nm ಹೊರಗಡೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ bracket. I will take the inside, that is N1 by OM plus n1 by mc. Here also I will take the nm outside, nm bracket, so here n2 by mc minus n2 by mi. So this and this get cancelled, so we can write down the what, n1 by om plus n1 by mc equal to n2 by mc minus n2 by mi. So this I'll take is here, so n1 by, so this side, because mc one side we can make it, so n1 by om plus this will come this side, means n2 by mi is equal to n2 by mc minus n2 by, sorry, n1 by mc. Okay, so now we are going to applying the sign convention. So we are going to applying the what, sign convention. So once again you take that. So here we are applying the what, sign convention, applying a sign convention. Sign convention we are going to apply. So this OM is nearly equal to OP. OM, it is nearly equal to OP. So this is left side, it is negative, we are going to take it. So that is minus U. This we are taking as a minus U. Okay, so that will be taking as a what, minus U. And then mi it is a right side, that will be positive. Mi is nearly equal to pi is equal to plus b. Okay, so now mc, that is equal to the what, pc, that is the distance between the pole and center of curvature. So the mc, it is nearly equal to pc, that equal to plus r. Okay, so that things we can substitute in above equation 3. This is we are going to call the equation 3. Therefore equation 3 becomes, okay, so equation 3 becomes therefore equation 3 becomes so n1 by om is minus u plus n2 by, so that is mi is plus v equal to, this is n2 by mc is nothing but the p, that is a pc only, so that is minus n1 by r, or we can write down minus n1 by u plus n2 by v equal to r we have taken, that is LCM we have taken n2 minus n1. So this is what we are going to see, so that is a refractive index of object. This is what we are going to say, the object distance plus refractive index of image divided by image distance equal to so difference between the refractive index divided by radius of curvature. Okay, so ultimate equation is like this way. Okay, I think you people are going to be understood. Thank you.